Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Tonight we are reviewing Ready to Love Season 4 Episode 10, Getting Clarity. Honey, I didn't get no clarity from this episode, honey. Quite frankly, y'all are playing in our faces, okay? And I don't have no time for it. Well, actually, I do have time for it because I review shows, honey, so I ain't got nothing else to do. Y'all ain't doing nothing else. But at the same time, okay, this episode was some foolishness, child. Let me tell y'all something. This episode and the way it ended, child, we're going to get into it as we get into it. If you are here for the first time, then welcome. If you are back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Before we go any further, I would like for everybody to just stop right now and hit the like button. It is going to be an entertaining review. You are going to want to stick around and hear what I was doing. Okay, so please do me a huge favor. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, child, let's get into it. Okay, so we know that the episode picks up where it left off with Alexis cross-examining the witness, okay, questioning Amber about her Delilah spirit, okay. So Alexis is saying, I feel like you can't be trusted. Ron was one thing, but I told you everything. And she was like, is that right? Yeah, it sounded like it's right, honey. And as she said that, Jason said, oh, shit. Because, baby, they're about to get into it, okay? It's about to be a whole issue. Okay, so everybody's sitting around because them discussing it in front of everybody is everything. When I tell y'all, I was like looking at the screen with my mouth open like, what? And girl, he said, what? They kissed. Child, y'all, I love a bunch of mess, honey. So Amber said, listen, we did kiss. Chris said, whoa, wait a minute. I love when KG get animated. Honey, he gonna get animated if he don't do nothing else. So he was like, yeah, it was kind of a gut punch to me. And I was thinking, we're going to have to talk a little bit more about this. KG, please. Anyway, so Alexis said, I would never kiss KG. Of course you wouldn't, honey. KG wouldn't even kiss KG. Child, ain't nobody worried about him. So she said, well, it's not what you think. We went out because my friend was being deployed and Ron said he could get us in some place for free. Girl, not ladies free before 11. Honey, how old are we? Child, if you are not 18 years old and you cannot afford to pay your way into the club and or lounge, honey, you should not be going. Child, I'm not buying that. He told us he could get us in free. If y'all don't talk and y'all wasn't talking, then how were you conversing about him being in the spot that you were going? Is he a club promoter as well? Somebody put down in the comment if he's a club promoter, child. Let me know. But you too old for that either way. But I digress. So then she said, we barely talked. It wasn't even a date. He did kiss me. We kissed or whatever. Nope. Do not just go on, brush on past that. We kissed, he kissed or whatever. It's not whatever. Because Chris sitting over here looking like, oh my God. Alexis and her crunchy wig, they mad, okay? And everybody else is looking like, Amber, it be the quiet ones, child. So anyway, she was like, and we kissed or whatever. Sounds like you and Donkey Kong talked to me, or at least with your lips. So use a lie. So then Alexis said, well, that's just girl code. Here come Vernisha. Well, do you see us coming into it, and being blindsided? Vern, honey, direct that to Joelle, child, because we know that's who you really want to talk about, okay? We know that's who you're speaking of. Amber was doing all this revealing, but she didn't reveal what she did, right? And wasn't going to reveal it unless Alexis called her to the carpet. So clearly y'all talked enough for you to get the tea about Joelle. Girl, I'm not buying nothing you saying. So she was like, listen, I understand and I was going to tell you. Sure you were. She said, I just knew Alexis was going to eliminate him because of the prayer. And, Ron didn't tell you the whole truth. Okay, now, this is the thing. True, Ron was being petty and his ego was a little bruised because of him being eliminated and whatnot. But the kiss part was true. So, I got to go with what he said as far as the kiss. And we don't know if it was really a date. All we can go is based on what you're saying. And you wasn't going to say nothing. So to me, I'm going to go with what Ron said. I'm just saying. So Amber said, I do apologize honestly for not telling you at the appropriate time. And so Alexis accepted it, okay? And she said, now I see Ron's true colors. Well, girl, him and his colors have been eliminated. So that's beside the point, girl. We don't care about Ron no more. So this is what I truly think. I think that Alexis truly liked Ron more than she let on. And the fact that he said he wasn't going to pray so he couldn't stay just threw her all off. But judging from these lives he going around doing, child, he said that he would have prayed and Alexis took it the wrong way. Let's move forward. She said Amber took it like a woman and explained herself, and she took accountability, and she just hopes that it doesn't happen again. Child, I would never let her that close to me again, and I definitely would not be praying and talking to her about any of my business. You hear me? You heard me, honey. Shout out to Joelle. No, ma'am. Amber is a liar, honey. A liar. On the witness stand as a defendant. No, ma'am, Pam. Moving forward. So then Kyra stands up and she's like, you know what? Let's go get in the hot tub. We need to do something else, honey, because basically she thinking what we all thinking. Y'all talking in circles. Amber lying. You accepting. Let's move forward. So she's like, let's go choose our rooms too. So we see that Liz and Delilah, they're rooming together, aka Amber. Apparently Joelle and Vernisha. Okay, girl. So they all go outside, right? And I'm like, okay, so here comes Kyra giving body, yaddy, 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 yaddy. I'm like, okay, girl, nice little shape on you. But I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to give, okay? So she says, you know, men are visual. They are, honey. Okay, so I guess you're competing in the swimsuit competition. Okay, so she was like, let me compete with this body. She wanted to prove her point, so she wore what she wore. Okay, girl, well, clearly that screams, this is what I have to offer. Honey, you're too smart for these antics. Coming out thinking, dressed like how you think somebody, honey. And I feel like Jason didn't even look that way, honey. From the looks, Jason barely looked at you twice. He's still over there with Liz and her moo-moo. Liz has a full-on mom one piece. And you sitting here in your two-piece, honey, in your nice Miami bathing suit. And he acting like he don't even see you, child. I ain't got time to play with y'all. So Liz said, you know, Jason was looking kind of fine, okay? And to be honest, I didn't even notice Kyra. And that's the God honest truth. Now, Liz, that's a lie, okay? Because I saw you look up at Kyra when she unrobed. When she disrobed, you took a look. And that's okay, honey. It's okay. Child, the shade. Joelle outside in a full-on sweater. Vernisha and Joelle started talking about him peeking in her shower, right? He said, look, I was just checking on you, baby. Honey, they gonna get it popping before this is over, okay? Alexis worried about the next woman yet again, saying, you know, AJ says he's feeling me, but I'm still neck and neck with Kyra, so I'm just trying to see, you know, what's going to happen. So instead of her buzzing around him all night, she's going to let him spend time with Kyra to see exactly what he really wants. Okay, girl, let's see how this goes. AJ comes out, walks straight past Alexis, goes and gets in the hot tub. Honey, this is so awkward. It's Liz, Kyra, and AJ. And AJ is playing footsies with Jason. Honey, that's the wrong foot. He wanted to get his physical touch on and got the wrong foot. Honey, let Jason show you how it's done. Because Jason going to get his physical touch if he don't do nothing else. Y'all hear me? Honey, Jason going to make sure he reaches out and touches somebody's hand. So Kyra trying to be seen. So she emerges from the hot tub, right? I'm like, girl. Anyway. So she comes up out of the water like a mermaid, and now she's sitting on the edge, giving very much, I need attention, look at me tease, okay? So she asked Jason, she said, what brings you peace? And he said, you know, when he's with a partner, he said, when a woman doesn't trust you, there's no peace. And he said, what about you? She said, I need a provider. Well, honey, we know, because that ex said you can't balance the checkbook. So, I mean... I'm just saying, child. So we know you need a provider, child. So anyway, Jason wasn't moved at all about that bikini, honey. He said Kyra was guarded. Moving on. So Amber pulls KG to the side because she's ready to apologize about her not telling what she should have told, okay? After she was exposed. So she said, you know, I could tell it affected him, as it should, okay? She said, you know, I didn't want him... She said he could just not want to talk to me after this. Child, he will. Who else he gonna talk to? Girl, you didn't even need to pull him to the side. All you had to do was just say, is your light bill due? Okay, I got something on it. Honey, that's all you had to do, child. All of this, and KG asks, you know, this is my thing. This is my thing about this. All of this happened, and KG still wanted to know exactly how Amber was feeling. I was like, KG is genuinely a good guy. Honey, I give you a hard time, KG, because I know y'all listening to these reviews, okay? I give you a hard time, but you are genuinely a good guy. Honey, this is just a roasting review, honey. I ain't got nothing else to do, child. So anyway, he said, how are you feeling? Because they were going at you. And she's like, I'm a tough cookie. Girl, please. So KG said, you know, I'm shocked because we tell each other everything. That's because she's a sneaky one. Child, you got to watch her. So she said, at the end of the day, who are you with? You, girl, because Ron got eliminated. But, honey, had he not got eliminated, this could have been a real twist and turn of events. We don't know how this would have played out. What if this would have happened and Ron was still there and David didn't try to get in front of the enemy? Girl, goodbye, honey. So she said, at the end of the day, who are you with? He said, I'm a little bit thrown off, but he's hoping it was a one-off and she doesn't do anything like that again. This is my thing, Chris. You don't have to settle for Amber and her faux locks. You don't have to settle for that, child. It's clear she's a sneaky person. Now, I'm not saying it, this is not a dating show and you're not supposed to date around, but judging from the way that these people move on this season, they all are expressing what they're doing to each other. So, hey, I went on a date with him yesterday. Hey, I grabbed coffee with her yesterday. Hey, I just want to tell you about this, or hey, I just want to tell you about that. So I'm trying to figure out why you just going along with this. Honey, I know you want to make it to the end finally and prove a point, but child, your point has been proven. You're good, honey. Don't let Amber do you like that. So then he said, he kissed me. She said he kissed me in front of everyone and I didn't want to embarrass him. Okay, child, look. I don't see your personality as not being one to want to embarrass someone. I feel like you stand up for yourself and you speak out when need be. So I don't buy that you didn't want to embarrass him. You wanted that kiss as much as he wanted that kiss. I don't know if y'all were gone off the Henny. Honey, I'm going to give you a little tip like Portia said over there on Real Housewives of Atlanta when she got her Delilah spirit, okay? Blame it on the Henny, okay? Blame it on the goose, got you feeling loose. Blame it on the Tron, got you in the zone. Blame it on the alcohol. Honey, shout out to Jamie Foxx. So anyway, so they're sitting there. So then he said, well, you kissed him on a Saturday. You want to kiss me on a Monday? And they kissing. At this point, I realized this season is full of kissers. Honey, he ultimately, KG forgave her because those bills still need to be split. Child, moving forward. Dragonfly over there whispering to Vernisha, right? Talking about, all AJ and Kyra do is argue. Why would you want that? Well, all you do is beg for assurance and attention, so he in a lose-lose situation. Or reassurement, as AJ likes to say. So, girl, please. She's like, after hearing them disagree, she just feels like she has a better chance of them hanging out, right? Okay, girl. Joelle said, did you see everything you needed to see, baby? She said, yeah. So then she said, look, I wanted to see if he was going to fight for me. Well, he didn't. He didn't even acknowledge you the entire night. You were sitting there wrapped up and, playing the third wheel with Vernisha and Joelle all night long. Child, The next morning, Vernisha and Joelle are in the room, right? And she's like, I feel real good about the other night, honey. I bet you do feel real good about the other night. And she said they decided to share a room. Honey, that ain't all y'all shared. Okay? Allegedly. I'm just saying, as touchy as Joelle is, I'm sure it went down, okay? There's a meeting in my bedroom. I'm like, So Joelle said, nothing happened, but he enjoyed the cuddle. Okay. Child, he was like, it let me know that he could lay. It let me know that I could lay next to this baby. I know it did, child, and that ain't all y'all was doing was saying that. You're trying to get me to believe that after y'all had this passionate fight, that y'all sat there, got in the bed after being outside, near the hot tub, by the hot tub or whatever, drinking and gone off the liquor, come back inside and lay down all night. Okay, honey, if that's what you want us to believe, child. So Vernisha was like, well, what did you learn about me last night? He said, I ain't learned about you, but I did learn about others. AKA, he learned how Amber is. Now he sees her for who she really is. So the ladies are cooking breakfast, right? So AJ said, Kyra is the girl you need on your team. Now, he's been fawning over Kyra through this whole thing. The only thing that he can say to Alexis is, yeah, that's a nice hat. It's only so many times you can compliment them hats she be wearing, child. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So then she said in her confessional, our connection is growing and I feel my guard coming down. Girl, go on, choose AJ and be done with it. You don't have time for all this hemming and hawing. You're going to have to make a decision. Over in Liz's room, her and Alexis were talking about like them having a good day. So Liz was over there blushing. So she said, I'm very secure in my spot with Jason. So Alexis was like, have y'all kissed? And, she's still blushing like a lady never tells. Girl, we know that kisser is kissing you, girl. Okay. So then Alexis is up there like, okay, girl, well, that's all good. But, honey, I got to focus on me competing with Kyra. So Liz lying to her, saying she feels the chemistry between her and AJ. Girl, What chemistry? Not that awkward kiss he did to shut her up. Okay, Liz, now, honey, you said you know G-O-D. Now, thou shalt not lie. Because we know ain't no chemistry being had. Girl, okay. Dragonfly said, the thing about us is it's very peaceful. We don't have no conflict. Girl, y'all beef more than a little bit. Honey, let's revisit. Okay, because I'm not going to let them just sit up and play with me. Number one, you were mad at him that night when you went to go eliminate him, but he thought he was being eliminated, but they were really eliminating Dietrich. Y'all remember that? And he was wooing her and pulling her in and sitting him on her lap, even though he said she led with sex and she was a little bit aggressive. She said that he doesn't text back. Okay, that's the first one. The second time, the double date, you two were fussing and you were running down your resume because he was not verbalizing that you were his number one. The third time, soon as you came to the ranch, you was like, I got a bone to pick with AJ because he didn't answer the phone and listen to me talk about another man that I really wanted that got eliminated that chose me as his number one. Or am I watching the wrong show? Girl, okay. So she was like, it's elimination week and Fly is not a quitter. She's a winner. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Honey, shout out to DJ Khaled. Jason and Kyra go on a little tennis date to see where he stands. Ain't standing nowhere. So she was like, I get judged all the time for being pretty, but I'm very athletic. I can see that she's athletic. I can see that she's the kind of girl that did play sports in high school. She has a very athletic build. So I don't just look at her and think pretty. I ain't gonna tell y'all what I think of when I do look at her, but I don't look at her and think pretty. I look at her and think, okay, she probably plays sports in school because she has that build about her, okay? So, child, she hit that ball and absolutely nothing, okay? She ain't no Serena Williams, I tell you that. Okay, so they're hitting the balls back and forth, honey. They ain't hitting on nothing, literally. Jason was like, listen, if you mess up this time, then you got to tell me I'm the sexiest man alive. Child, she hit it pretty good to me, but she still ended up telling him his words of affirmation that he was the sexiest man alive. But y'all know what I thought was strange? When he walked up to her, Jason is a very physical person. And he always goes up to Liz and grabs her face and leans in for a kiss. But when he walked up to Kyra, he just kissed her on her forehead. Now, some people say a forehead kiss is more intimate than getting into it as we get into it. But I just thought that was strange because he's very touchy-feely. So that was a little something that I picked up. So after they finish that, they sit down to talk because, she's feeling like Liz is taking over. And she says she feels like that after the male, after that male deliberation, that she felt a little shift, right? So he said, look, Liz let me know where she stood and you have not. Honey, y'all are neck and neck. So he said, like, where are me and AJ? And she said, same as you. I really just don't know. And me and AJ were working out our conflict. Girl, what conflict? Are y'all still arguing about that stimulus debit card? Girl, he has a real card now. Honey, it's a prepaid one, but he got one, okay? So as long as he loaded some money on it that day, y'all gonna be fine. Girl, I know y'all, Fly might be right. Y'all just arguing in circles for no reason. This is the thing. You and AJ really want each other, but Alexis and Jason are the safety nets. Y'all want to make it to the end. Y'all want to have a person on this side and a person on that side. It's like the devil and the angel. You and AJ are one in the same. So, girl, if you don't just grab his beard and walk on off into the sunset, honey, and let these people find love, girl, I'm not about to play with you. So she was like, I think I should go through the entire process before making a choice. Girl, quit stalling for time, honey. Jason was like, what? So we've come this far and you still need to think about some things. Like, are you evaluating the man or evaluating yourself? Neither, honey. She's playing games. Jason said, how her and AJ do is argue. I mean, everybody can see that, but what it's saying to me is she likes toxicity. Honey, it's like those passionate relationships where you be arguing all the time, arguing, just like all day long. Honey, that's all y'all do is argue, break up to make up. Honey, that's what they like to do. So, child, let them do it. Kyra is too childish for me. I know that, it's a process and you don't want to just give your heart to any old body, but let's just be real. This is a game show. This is not an actual place where you come to find love. Y'all can put the connections together when the cameras go down. But for right now, we're going to need a choice. Okay? Girl, let him have her. And go on, get your slacks and get ready for church Sunday morning with Liz. Kyra is giving a bunch of fluff, and Jason wants a solid answer. So he said, all you're saying is surface stuff. And she was like, oh, I didn't like that. You hurt my feelings. He said, we've been in this long enough, so you should know exactly what you want and who you want. I know that's right. So she has to choose, and she has to make this is the thing. Okay, I just want to stop right there. This is what I want to say. What I was getting from Jason is he wants her to choose so that it can make his choice easier. Quite frankly, he has already chosen Kyra, and he is making Liz his safety net. Both of the men want Kyra, and Kyra wants AJ, and Liz just want love. Honey, Liz, go ahead and self-eliminate, because these jerks here are not it, okay? I could be wrong, but it seems like we only have one more episode left, so it's seeming like I'm right. And I feel like Jason really wants Kyra, but he wants her to say it, because if she verbally says it, then Liz will be out, and that's not cool. Child, moving forward. AJ and Alexis, they still a moment away, and they go up in this tower, right? And they talking in circles, talking about nothing. They talk about what they want, and then Alexis, like she did with Chrysanthemum, is worried about her in comparison, is worried about worried about Kyra in comparison to her, okay? So she's like, listen, I like the fact that we have peace, not to bring anyone else up, but my concern is for you not to yoke up with somebody that will cause you strife. AKA, translation, please choose me and not Kyra. Girl, moving forward. So then AJ said, everyone is thinking about, what they want versus what they need. And then Alexis said, I want to honestly ask where your heart is. So child, let me tell you something. Y'all listen to me. This part right here, Alexis, honey. Now, I give all of y'all an equally hard time because that's what I do over here on this channel. But I want you to pay very close attention to what AJ said to you. I know you were in the moment and you're trying to get chose and whatnot, but I just want you to listen to this. So AJ said, a lot of times what you need is not necessarily exciting. One being exciting versus being safe. And, you're safe. Then this bald-headed brokey says, safe is you. Girl, he just sat in your face and said, safe is you and Kyra is exciting. So why don't you just go on and be with Kyra, honey? Don't sit up in my face and tell me, y'all know I always got to insert myself as though they're talking to me. Why would you sit here and tell her that she's a safe bet? That's like putting on your comfortable shoes when you're getting ready to go out because you don't know if your heel's going to hold you up all night. So you wear your flats because it's a safe bet. Oh, no, ma'am. Are you really going to settle for that, Alexis? Girl, you better listen. Child, listen to what he's saying. And take those blinders off. He is a F-boy, just talking, saying he appreciates her. She says she didn't feel secure. Of course not, because he's not saying nothing that makes any sense. Girl, AJ likes Kyra. Self-eliminate now. Go home and practice your art. Shout out to Martin. Dragonfly, the time is up, honey. You need to go home and practice your art. Everybody's hanging out. The boys are playing pool. Joelle looking like Will Smith in Bad Boys. Honey, wearing Bad Boys 2, wearing this harness, little vest. I was like, what is happening? I was like, Joelle, honey, they did say you want to be an actor / rapper / honey, I don't know what. But I guess you putting in your bid for the next Bad Boys movie. Amber and KG over there lying to each other, honey. They done made a pact to make it to the end. Then Tommy rides up on a horse like he's in the wild, wild west. Okay, I'm not about to play. He sits down with Jason, right, and talks to Tommy. So he sits down with Jason and they talk, right? So he's like, listen, what's going on between you, Kyra, and Liz? He said, Kyra playing games and Liz, she's rock solid. Tommy said, so how do you make your decision? Jason said, listen, they're both pulling on my heart. No, they're not. I don't buy that either. I feel like you know what you want. You just won't say it out loud. The same thing you told Kyra when y'all were sitting underneath the tree or whatever after y'all got through playing tennis. You told Kyra, I know you know what you want. I just want you to say it. And that's the same thing I'm saying to you. Just say, I like Kyra more than Liz. Because we know you do. So anyway, y'all know Tommy gonna ask the question. Tommy said, if you had to leave right now and go back to Houston, who would it be with? Jason said, my dad told me love is simple and never confusing. So I choose Liz. Well, Kyra, looks like the bathing suit was a bust, child, because he chose Liz. But I think he chose Liz because that's the safe bet. Tommy meets with the men, and then he asks how the ranch is. Right here go KG. Starts saying, and Amber's honest. She's resilient. She's the best. She's beautiful. She's an attorney. She's willing to split these bills. She's willing to go 50-50. She's willing to kneel on the grass as part of a date. Like, he was saying all kind of stuff. And Tommy just looking at him like, okay, so was there any drama? Because you already know, he already knows that there was some drama. So then KG was like, yeah, there was a little bit of drama, you know. Basically, Alexis found out that Ron kissed Amber. Amber didn't tell her straight up. And then there was a little bit of a tiff, right? So Tommy said, are you comfortable with a woman that you're interested in kissing another man? And KG was looking at him like, look, if she willing to split these bills, honey, and this rent with me, are you going to do it? Are you going to split this rent? Well, okay then. No, but in all seriousness, he said he felt like she gut punched him after talking. You know, he felt like she gut punched him when they first talked about it. But after talking through it, he got over it. And if it happens after 18 months, then that would be a red flag. Child, it's not a red flag. That would be you got to go after 18 months. Child, that's over a year. You do know a year consists of 12 months. 18 months and you kissing other people? Oh, no, sir. So Tommy said, be transparent. KG said, you know, that's why me and Amber have been so solid. You know, I'd rather you slap me with the truth than kiss me with a lie. KG, hush. Oh, boy, be quiet with your KG-isms. Amber wasn't going to say nothing until Alexis brought it up. So I don't know what you're talking about. But okay, set yourself off. Joel tells Tommy, you know, how he got caught up, but then, you know, they laid in the bed and now they're good. Okay, because that's what I'm thinking, honey. They sexed it out and everything's fine. But when they were in it, it was a full-on WWE brawl. And he was like, okay, so it's Vernisha? He was like, it's definitely Vernisha for me, especially after last night, allegedly. Okay, so AJ still pretending to choose between Fly and Kyra, leaning all over that fence, picking dead leaves. She loves me. She loves me not. She loves me. She loves me. Boy, go on, honey, and just pick Kyra. Y'all getting on my nerves. So he's sitting up here talking to Tommy, right? So then he said he and Kyra struggle with communication. No, y'all don't. Y'all got some sexual tension, and y'all need to just let it all out, honey. Get into it as you get into it. Go in the house, have sex, come on out, tell Jason he's gone, and she don't want nothing else to do with that, and then go ahead and let Fly in her wig fly away. Boy, whatever. So he was like, you know, Alexis had a tough choice with Ron, and, you know, I see why. Okay. So he said, you know, I don't think I can do this. Tommy said, oh, you gonna do it, because it's time. Nephew Tommy was like, boy, please, it's time to do it, y'all. We got one more episode to go. So y'all gonna have to say what y'all gonna say and do what y'all gonna do. So Tommy said, if you had to leave tonight with one, who is it gonna be? He said, you know, I don't want either one of them to leave. You can't have them both. You can't have your cake and eat it too, even though that's what you do with cake. You eat it. But at the same time, honey, you can only choose one. It's 3 couples. It's not one couple and a throuple. So are you going to choose Dragonfly, or are you going to choose Kyra in her Megan Thee Stallion bathing suit? Boy, choose one. Okay. He was like, I still can't decide. So then Tommy said, who lights you up? When you see them coming towards you, who do you look at and say, that's my girl? It definitely is not Alexis. Okay. It's just not. Everybody can see it. Ask the people on the Twitter, child, they can see it. So Tommy said, okay, you know what? I'm going to give you a little bit more time to decide. So then he meets with Kyra, y'all. Okay. So she's like, you know what? I'm actually really excited to see him. So she sits down. They start with the small talk or whatever. And she talking about how she want to look at the stars, but wasn't not a star in sight. Okay. She was trying to create a moment. Wasn't no moment being had. So AJ said, listen, I saw when you were talking to Jason last night that he had some of the same reservations as me. And she was like, well, no, not really. He was like, so who are you choosing? So she said, look, after the conversation with Jason, you know, it made me see some things differently. And am I ready to just flip my thinking? No, I still need time to think. Honey, you're traveling down the wrong road. Girl, you better say what it is and get to it. Because, I mean, he want to know what's all doing. Okay? So she told him that, right? So then AJ said, listen, I think you're an amazing woman and gorgeous. And the way he was leading up to it, I'm thinking, girl, if you don't realize that you about to be eliminated, honey, I don't know what kind of law degree you got and where you got it from, because it's looking like we're about to get a confession. So then he says, you know, I appreciate the second chance, and I've been looking for some level of reassurance because I've been putting in the work. Well, I've been looking for some level of you using a real word. What is reassurance? And instead of her correcting you like I would have said, it's not reassuring, baby, but okay, set yourself off. Child, she was like, oh, okay. And he was like, it's only 4 guys left and only 3 couples make it to the end. So the decision came down to me, and this is your last day. You're not ready to love. I was like, oh, I knew Kyra was going home. I just knew it because she was starting to get on Jason's nerves because she didn't make a decision, and she was starting to get on AJ's nerves because she wasn't making a decision, okay? So I'm thinking, okay, she finna go, y'all, all right? So then I see her doing her exit interview because she didn't let the enemy get in front of her, like David said. Honey, she gonna do her interview. She gonna stand tall, 10 toes down, right? So she was like, I was just about to say, AJ, girl, please. No, you were not. You were hoping that they were going to fight over you until the end. Okay. You giving real Adriana tease right now. That's the same way she did Rashid, and he ended up going home. Girl, please. She was like, I was just about to choose him. No, you were not, honey. You were using Jason as a safety net, and you thought you had both of them in the bag. That's just the truth of the matter. So they paying back over because of some tricky editing going on. This is what I thought. And she's still sitting there. She's like, you're still holding my hand. And she was like, can I have my hand back? He said, I'm not ready to stop holding it. Do you want to be here with me? And child looked like she still took a deep breath. I'm like, what is happening? That's not how this works, honey. You are not ready to love. Goodbye. Child, y'all making up your own rules. AJ is pulling a stunt. Child, what is happening? So this is a mess. If you want her, just say that. Somebody get fly on the line and tell her to get her little bedazzled jeans and go. Honey, AJ playing games. Child, and then that was the end of the episode. And judging from next week's episode, we still see Kyra there talking about she needs to settle some things and talk to Jason. But I didn't see Alexis. So I'm thinking he ends up eliminating Alexis and keeping Kyra. And he probably going to be left at the altar, okay? And she going to run off with Jason. And poor Liz going to be singing hymnals all the way back to the house. Child, I ain't got no time for this. And to add to that, I see KG over here telling Amber that he's celibate and waiting until marriage, but said he didn't want to be married. Child, throw the whole cast away. And Alexis's wig. Child, that's the end of this review. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all know we gonna talk about it. Y'all know Saturday night, we definitely gonna talk about it on our live. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.